Well, if you've been wondering when I'm going to finally paint this Blazer, right now. I spent all morning masking this off so I can paint the cowl, and obviously I'll just get the top part of the firewall. That'll look nice and clean. I've got kind of a half-hearted attempt at masking that off. I just wanted to control how much air and paint was going down on the frame and that. So that's, and of course I wanted to protect the exhaust tip on that. I hate cleaning that stuff. But I need to paint the lower part of the dash, kick panels, and the ceiling on the inside and these inner walls. I do need to get up and paint the top of the cab. So I will save the floor here for very last, just because I'm going to be walking on here and dragging my hose potentially on there. So, and I want to get in there and take care of that. Before I paint, I need to wipe this whole thing down really well. I have some wax and grease remover. I'm just going to wash this thing down really well. This is the sealer I'm using. This is a 2K sealer. And this is the Omni paint. This is white, the GM white. I am using white because that's the original color of that rig, and I'm just matching everything up that way. And then I do use the data sheets. I'm not a professional painter, so I need all the help I can get. And these pretty much explain give you a lot of information that you need for painting. You can vary a little, vary on how much reducer you use and things like that. But I like to use these, just like I said, because I'm not a pro. So these are very helpful. This is the gun I'm going to use for applying my sealer. This is my old gun. It's only going to be a primer gun. This is a gun I've had for, 20 years. It's an HVLP, and it's okay. It was just a cheap gun. And it just doesn't, the finish isn't good as I'd like it to be. So that's why it's only going to be a primer gun at this point. Now for the paint this time, I went to Harbor Freight and I bought their best gun. Actually, it's a funny story. I bought their Spectrum brand, which was a step down from this, and it was $129. This gun here was $179, so I cheaped out a little bit. Well, 4 days after I bought that other gun, the Spectrum gun, this Black Widow went on sale. So I went and bought it. It was the same price as that Spectrum gun. So I'm excited to try their top of the line gun to see how much better it is. This will be my paint gun, finish gun. This is an HDE style instead of an HVLP. So I'm kind of curious and excited to try that out, see if it's any better. I do have a new filter I'm going to put on here. I always put a new filter on, keep the water out and any other junk that may come through the line. This gun does take the style here that you can fill up and have these set, and these actually go on the top of the gun. So you'll actually put the gun onto the cup, not the other way around. You'll spill it. But it takes this style. So I got actually two of these, and it takes these soft disposable liners. The suction from the paint will collapse this and get most of the paint out. And then of course this is filtered as well. I don't know if you can see it. It's got a screen in it. So it'll filter again. I always filter when I put paint into the cup, but anything that may have got missed will be filtered out there. You probably could just mix the paint and dump it right in without filtering it because of that filter. I still like the idea of doing that. So I'm excited about using this. I'll try to demonstrate it a little bit as I'm painting. I'll probably forget. I can talk about it at the end, let you know what I think if I do. But I'm excited to try this out. So we'll see how that goes. I'll dust it and wipe it down with the wax and grease remover, and then throw on some sealer, let that sit for a bit, and throw on some paint. Got a pretty good shine on the pillar in the top there. I was really wanting to have a good shine there. And then obviously down the rails here. I put it on a little heavier than I thought, and I wound up getting a run right here, which is no big deal. Um, Once this dries, I can color sand this out, get rid of it. And I think there was one little one on the other side too. I'm not doing anything but pulling tape off today. Let this dry real good. I did buy a new paint gun for this. I had my old paint guns were getting pretty bad, so I went and bought Harbor Freight's top of the line. And man, what a difference! I've never had that nice of a gun in my life. It worked really good. It made a big difference. Um, if you're looking for a decent gun, check that one out. It was $179, and I got it on sale for $129, so it worked out really good. Good savings. I didn't show you this while I was painting, but my water separator filter broke off of my air gun while I was painting, right in the middle of paint. I threw one of these on real quick. Fortunately, I had a couple spares laying around. That could have been bad. Could have messed everything up. So I'm going to get the tape pulled, or all this plastic off here, unmask it, and see how much overspray I got underneath. I was trying to avoid a lot of overspray. Hopefully it turned out. I chose to mask this off this goofy way because it had a like an undercoating spray over these seams. So I'm going to reapply some of that spray around here, so that'll look factory-ish. Same over here. I took the wiper motor out, so when I put that back on, I tried to mask this off of my paper, or my plastic came undone. I didn't want to paint my bolts, but that's okay. I can deal with that. But when I get everything back on here and having these seams resprayed, it should look clean and factory-ish, which would be nice. And then got all the jams really good here. And then I got the dash, the bottom part of the dash sprayed. The inside turned out really good. Really happy how clean that is. When I get the carpets in, I'll glue them down. That's why I didn't clean that up. It's like the carpet set I have has the hump covers. So I'll have those on, this all covered, and then the whole complete floor. So it'll look really nice. I'm excited to get the carpets in. It's going to be hard for me not to get those in because I want to do it really bad. But anyhow, and obviously I need to repaint all of this. I got to sand this and repaint it, and clean things up a little bit more. I got overspray. I wrapped it really good, but I got a little overspray. So, and I got new pads, so I'll just need to touch up, re-black this stuff under here. Not a big deal, just cleaning things up, making it look sharp. But this was my goal, to get paint on the body. Now I can move forward with things on this. And then I've got doors and fenders and tailgate and whatnot over here. I got to sand, so I can move this out of the way. I can get this out of the shop actually at this point. The next big thing I want to do to this though is I want to get it down. I don't know when I'm going to do it. I might start on that stuff first, but I want to get this down and get a windshield put in it. Then when I get doors on it, it's halfway sealed up. Canopy, I'm not even going to worry about doing the canopy until I get everything else done. Then we'll get the canopy done, or the top, whatever you want to call it. But anyhow, pretty excited. I spent a little time this morning putting some of the wires and accessories back on, the wipers in. I cleaned them up, touched them up, painted, wiped things down, replaced some screws. threw the strikers in. They're just kind of loose, but I had new courtesy light switches, but apparently I got the wrong ones. They're too small for the hole, so I got to reorder. Um, I threw in tail lights. I'm probably going to have to pull the lenses back off because I have a little run right here I need to take care of. So that'll come right out real easy. I had strikers for the tailgate, cleaned up, put them on, and threw the dome light in. But other than that, I'm not going to get too carried away. Well, I never did show you how I ventilate my shop. I usually use this big 48-inch fan and wedge it up underneath the door and block it off with plywood. That took a dump on me just before I was ready to paint. So I had a couple of box fans, went and picked up a couple of more. And so that's given me airflow. And then over here on the opposing side of the shop, I opened up one of these panels, and I made this panel. I've used it in the past. It's a panel with filters in it, and I set that into the door opening. So I've got filtered air and a cross breeze. Unfortunately, where I've got these fans set up, the airflow on the other side of the shop is way better than over here. Over here, I've got overspray dust all over everything. And the other side, there is hardly anything over there. So that tells me it works better over there. So that's something I'll work on later. So I think this is where I'm going to wrap it up. It's lunchtime. My little tummy's grumbling. Go grab some food, cool off. I may not come back out today. Maybe I'll get back to it tomorrow for sure. But I appreciate you watching. Thank you so very much. We'll catch up with you guys later. Bye.